All right, Swallows FC have appointed Dylan Kerr as a new head coach after sacking Brandon Truter. Kerr is no stranger to South African football, having taken charge of Black Leopards, Baroka FC, and most recently Marumo Gallants. Joining us to discuss the appointment is Swallows chairman David Mogashoa. A very good afternoon, Mr. Mogashoa. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us on eNCA. Let's start with this. Brandon Truter promoted Swallows FC back to the top flight 2 seasons ago. Just in the last campaign, they finished 6th on the log, but the Kaiser Chiefs 3-1 loss to the Dube Birds was your final nail on the coffin. Why did you sack Brandon Truter?
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the viewers. I heard Brandon talking about Congo fire. I hope I don't get spitted with fire. Truter did very well for Swallows, and I'll forever be grateful for that. What he has done is something that we never thought we'll achieve so soon. So for that, he deserves to be, supported, and I wish him all the best. But looking at where the club is, we had to make a decision to say, do we want the club to stay there, or do we want the club to move from that position as fast as possible? If you look at the log, that Swallows is sitting at number 16, but there are 3 teams at the bottom with 8 points. But now the 2 teams that we are sharing points with have games in hand. But now I know games in hand are not points, but it's still a disadvantage to us. So we had to make sure that we take a decision that will take the club away from that position and make sure that Swallows stays in top flight.
Mr. Mogashoa, having said that, the next 3 games are winnable matches. You did say that Swallows are bottom of the log after 12 matches. Why couldn't the board wait it out before making the call to part ways with Truter? Surely the match against Maritzburg United, Baroka FC and Marumo Gallants also are winnable games.
Winnable games, but if you lose the games, you can't write to SAFA and say, I want to replay the match because the referee made a mistake. I don't think we have those, those privileges. So we want to make sure that we go at every game with the fight. We want to fight and make sure that we get the points as early as possible. We only at game number 12. By the time we get to game number 15, we should be safely away from the relegation zone. So it's best that we move away fast as possible. So second round, we make sure that we are secure. We start fighting for top 8.
All right, in the appointment of Dylan Kerr, who's got a proven record in surviving close to relegated sides, his heroics with Marumo Gallants, Baroka FC and Black Leopards, as I mentioned, speaks for himself. Was this a major contributing factor in your prerequisites amongst the 100 candidates that you received?
It was more than 100 from all over the world. But you are right. It was a big contributing factor because, the first thing that Dylan said was that Swallows should not be weighed. It's based on the number of players and the quality of players that we have in the team. So he gave us a plan that he'll implement to make sure that Swallows moves away from that position. And it was a good plan. It was a workable plan. It was a plan that will ensure that the team moves away from that position. So there was a deciding factor for us to say, this man understands that the team is at the bottom, and he's already got a plan to move the team away from where it is. And for that, we decided that he should be the man leading the team, because we don't have time.
Okay, Dylan Kerr's assistant in former Kaiser Chiefs striker Fani Madida joins the bird nest as well. The job description for both men is clear. Surely survive relegation by the time the second half of the campaign gets underway. Your thoughts?
I'm very happy with that because actually we appointed Dylan yesterday, and then as we were chatting to him, telling him who's at the team, he immediately said to him, he's happy to have Fani there because Fani was a striker. He will assist in, training the strikers to score goals. We've played 12 games and only scored 3 goals. Where have you seen that? 12 games, 3 goals. It doesn't make sense. So it was very refreshing to hear a coach that says, I'll keep Fani there because he was a striker, then he'll assist the strikers on how to score goals. And I think that will assist the team.
All right, well, the home game is against Maritzburg United at the weekend. I'd like to call it a 6-point game. And I did mention earlier on, your next 2 against Baroka FC and Marumo Gallants is definitely winnable matches. In which position on the log do you wish to see Swallows FC finish at the end of the season?
Look, at the end of the season, we want to be in top 8 because we're in top 8 last season, so we can't finish outside the top 8. So I'd like us to finish before January between 10 and 11. So somewhere there just to be safe. And then after that, we fight for the top 8. So I think we'll finish comfortably in the top 8.
All right, so David Mogashoa, always great talking to you just after the appointment of Dylan Kerr as a man to replace, of course, Brandon Truter at the Dube Bird Nest. All right, that does it with our interview with Brandon Truter. But back to you, Brandon.